Hello! After 2 days in the cooler, I'm immersed, a little bit worn out, but a bit more bright, I think. Gosh, what a time we're going through. We really are. Well, I'm talking about singing today because it's been my saviour. It really has. I do feel that singing, Master Peter says this, if you can get someone to sing, they will be healed. Because we're all sound, really. And it's just a question of getting everything back into balance. Well, some tunes aren't very balanced, are they? Some of them are pretty awful. But they're for a purpose, how to break things down. So, initially, I thought there were so many stories I could tell you about singing. I do love singing, and I'm quite good at it, but I don't read music. I just go up and down in the right places, and I hope I'm not the only one. You know, you hear these choirs, you think, gosh, if one person was to be a second out, it would be very embarrassing. So I'm very careful how I do it, and when I sing with other people, you know, I have to be very careful. But I suppose my early days, it started off this morning really thinking, well, gosh, the memory. Of course, I'm an old lady, and as you get older, your memory does get stronger for years ago. And I can remember this was preschool, primary almost. I was about sort of 8 or 9 probably. And I can remember in a school I used to go to, we had a morning assembly. I don't think they do that now. Not very many schools anyway. We all filed into the hall, and it was a hall, wooden boards, you know, and there was somebody on the piano and the headmaster, and we'd sing hymns. And I can remember standing there singing this hymn. I was about 8 or 9, Immortal, Invisible, God Only Wise, thinking about the chap behind me who I fancied. I can remember it as though it was yesterday. Now, isn't that weird? I can always remember what I was wearing. So I was only about 9 or 10 years of age. So I suppose singing's always been my thing. I'm a Taurus. My throat chakra is a powerful thing, and I'm a communicator, as you can tell. And I've never really, well, I don't play an instrument. I did try the piano once, but it's very difficult because you've got to have both hands in sync. And we've got a divine organist, and when you hear him play, my God, the heavens resound. It's wonderful. I love organ music, and of course Bach. Some of his music is, I think organ music somehow is more emotional. It's got a feeling to it behind the words, what they call keys. I think I love his organ music. I used to go to the cathedral, just sit and listen to them practicing. You've got a whole place resounds, you know. You have to sing along, and no one can hear you, of course. I did belong to a choir once. Well, not once, several times actually, but the most recent one was about, I suppose, 20 years ago, in a nearby town. And I belonged to this choir, and we were asked to do a session in their local cathedral. Oh, that was an experience never to be forgotten. It was absolutely magical. You wore a white blouse and your skirt and carriage and music, pressing up the aisle, processing up the aisle, felt very important. And there was a brass band playing. I mean, you couldn't hear you sing. I think these huge choirs with hundreds of people in them, you really can't hear yourself sing because there's so much noise around you. You just hope you're doing it properly. And of course, I love Bach's music. His choral music is so beautiful, isn't it? You know, so sound is very important, and Master Peter says that. Get a person to sing, and he will be well. And it doesn't take overnight, obviously, but I think it puts you back into some sort of harmony. Because recently, I think I did a video some months ago about bursting into song in my kitchen, and the other day it happened again. I was feeling pretty sort of, well, down, you know, on my own here, getting breakfast and stuff. I suddenly burst into this song. Wow, that was fantastic. I mean, not just hearing it, but singing it and feeling, and my whole body was shivering, and I felt all my spirit guides, oh, you know. Because they can hear us, of course, and I'm pretty good. I mean, I am in tune. I mean, a lot of people like singing, don't they? A lot of us. And I don't think everyone does, but a lot of us have a go at it. In the shower, in the bath, you know, pubs and football crowds, of course, they really do go for it. And everyone looks so happy when they're singing, don't they? I've got this recent thing on the internet, finding videos of different sessions of music and stuff. Cathedrals particularly, when you get so many voices and brass bands and, oh, you know, the roof raises the roof. And I think people say, "Oh, I can't sing. I'm not in," and of course they may not be in tune, but that doesn't matter. It's just open your mouth and let the sound come out, because it's really a wonderful feeling. It's a kind of, I suppose, self-expression, isn't it? To hear yourself. I mean, I talk to myself, obviously. I haven't spoken to anyone for a week. No, it's not true. I did speak to a neighbour opposite briefly, but I love to sort of, when you communicate, to hear is part of like getting in touch with yourself, isn't it? So this musical thing is, it's really quite very powerful. I've just recently found out that I've got to tell you this, because try and sing along to something. I mean, I love Westlife. The boy band. Oh yes, I'm an old lady, but the words, some of the words are really well thought out, you know. And of course the Beatles, all the famous bands. But some of them, I even with the proms. I love the proms. I stopped watching those because some of the music nowadays is very discordant, I find. Musicians love it because it's a challenge, but you can't sing along. You could sing along to Bach, for instance. He's got very bouncy, you know. You can sing along to him, and Mozart, all the German composers, they really have got it sorted. I mean, Mozart was composing when he was 15. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, but he was channeling, I think. You know, you could sit down, it's like when you channel writing, you could channel music. But sometimes, you know, they just get into these places where, as heaven, I've heard the heavenly choir, well, it's called the heavenly spheres actually. When I took knowledge with Maharaji, you could either see the light, you can hear the sound, and I heard this sound of the heavenly. It was extremely moving. I mean, you don't hear it every day, it's an inner thing, you know, but the heavenly choir, I mean, honestly, well, you couldn't hear it too often, or if at all, because you have to be sort of really attuned to it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful sound, it really is. So, I don't know, there's so much I could say about hymns, and of course, well, hymns are really prayers in song, aren't they? I'm going to see what time it is. Hymns are really prayers in song, and when I was married very unhappily, and in the afternoons I used to get very fed up and lonely, I used to go for a little walk down by the river. I might burst into song in a minute, I hope you don't mind. And it's a lovely walk. I used to walk and I used to sing, "Oh, for the beauty of the earth, for the glory of the skies, for our love which from our birth over and around us lies. Father, unto thee we praise, this our great songs of praise." I was a bit in the wrong key there, but I had to sing it. For the beauty of the earth, and it's to sing along when you're walking through the trees in the river. You know, it's a wonderful feeling. You're very in touch, and of course God likes music, angels, you know. So yeah, I've just got lots more I could say about singing, but I think that's the main thing. You know, my daughter likes to sing, and you know, at midnight mass, singing hymns at midnight mass, there's something joyful in it, isn't there? And I found that when I'm feeling really down, if I can really make the effort of get bursting into song and singing a hymn, hymns seem to do it more for me just lately. I think because they are prayers and music, and some of the words of some of the hymns are absolutely beautiful. They really are, and when you're singing them, it's like a prayer, isn't it? But it's not kind of so stuffy as sitting and praying, if you know what I mean. You can sing along and you can be driving. That's a wonderful place to sing because nobody can hear you. And you can sing along. I've got some lovely tapes in my car, CDs, and lovely tapes, gosh, CDs in my car. Violin Concerto, Bach's Violin Concerto, Beethoven. I mean, some of the favourites. You can sing along, and it makes the journey go shorter somehow. I don't know. Anyway, dear ones, I think that's about all for now, because I'm running out of steam. I won't sing again. Actually, I wasn't very good because I'm in the wrong key. So, you know, I mean, you can go online and some of the websites, videos on the websites, hymnals, C of E hymnals. I like C of E hymns best, I suppose, but there's all sorts. I mean, just pop music, anything that's got lovely words and you can sing along and dance along, salsa dancing. I don't think they have songs salsa dancing, do they? But you know, songs that you can move to as well, dance, you know, something you can dance. I used to love, when I was younger, I used to love jive. I mean, I don't have jive, do they, nowadays? But I used to love dancing, love it. And you'd swing around and you'd be dancing and singing. I miss all that. I mean, I can't do it now. Obviously, I'm too old to dance, really. Too old to move much either, but I can sing. I can still sing. And I think that's my kind of saving grace. If I get really, really down, burst into song. Find a hymn that you like, and you can feel, almost feel your body. It's sort of like an energy that's shifting in the body when you make this sound that belongs to you, you personally, you. Okay, darlings, I'm going to go now. Take care. God bless.